Jim, is there any part of that movie that, since it came out, has grown? The entire movie has really grown on me over the years. It's really become this thing that I thought was pretty impressive when it came out, frankly. And then over the years, it's just become like part of your DNA because you watch it over and over again. You know every frame. Is there any part of that movie that has really grown on you over the years, or any part of that movie that you think, if I was doing it again, I'd change X?
You know, I watch the film and I know I can run the intellectual exercise of how I would do it today, which would be quite different in terms of technique. I don't think I can imagine arriving at a better outcome of the final images. We built enormous sets. We probably would do less of that now and slip more of it into CG and try to get exactly the same sense of reality in the outcome. No, I'm pretty happy with the film in terms of it growing on me. I think in my life experience, I know more about life and love and mortality and that sort of thing. I have a slightly different perspective. You know, when I went to the wreck in 1995, and you know, obviously as part of making the film in 1996, I felt like I was an astronaut going into inner space. You know, it was all about the technology of that mission and the excitement and the adventure. Now I look at the whole thing from a perspective of loss and grief and what the people went through that went into the water, what the people went through that survived and lived with survival guilt, what the families of the lost went through. I always say that Titanic is the safe tragedy because it happened, you know, what is it at this point, 111 years ago now in 23. It's got enough of a distance that we can see a window into tragedy and loss through it in a kind of a slightly romanticized way, instead of looking at the brutal horror of things that are, you know, for example, happening in Ukraine, or bad things that are happening around the world, or bad things that might even happen to us in our lives. So it's a way for us to kind of go through those emotions in a kind of a training way, if you will. And I think that's part of what attracts people to it. It's not just the young love and the you know, the kind of Hallmark card romance. It's going through that roller coaster in a way that feels safe to people, you know, but putting themselves through it and exercising, you know, those muscles, those emotional muscles.